This is the exact method I use to go from a $20,000 a month entrepreneur to a multi-millionaire investor over the past 4 years. My name's Tyrell, and I started off just a few years ago following entrepreneurs like Iman Gaji. I had interviews with him, Andy Frisella, Sam Ovens, and many others. And over that time, I started a marketing agency. I managed to grow it to over $20,000 a month. Then I did e-commerce, the same thing. I was doing drop shipping, and yes, drop shipping does work. I was running those businesses, and then I even took on mentorship students for people like the e-com king, for example. And over that time, things were great. In fact, I was making more money in a month than I used to make in a year, but I still felt this feeling of golden handcuffs. I felt like I was just spending every single day in my business. There would be ad fatigue. I would have to do new products and new suppliers. I'll be chasing the money. But then, as you know, times like this, you see the crypto videos. You see the people making millions of dollars from next to nothing. And, you want to get involved. And I did. I put all of the money that I used to make from my businesses into crypto, to the point where I had more in crypto than I had in my bank account. And over time, those times were great. I did make 6 figures from it. But then I started to dive deep, as I did with everything. I started to look deeper into the crypto scene. I started to look behind the curtain, look behind the KOLs on influencers saying, buy this coin, buy that coin, and look, okay, where are these coins coming from? That's where I discovered ICOs. You see, just like Shopify, right? When you see the ring of the bell, and when you see these IPOs and you see multi-million-dollar exits, every single day people are exiting for multi-millions of dollars inside of crypto. But instead of you having to be an accredited investor, instead of you having to be a venture capitalist, you can be a normal person in crypto and get into these projects. In fact, Ethereum has its ICO 31 cents. That's over a 1,000,000% return to this date. Ridiculous. Over a 10,000x return on whatever you put in. But of course, there's risk to that. Not all coins work. Not every investment worked. So I went, like any degen, I aped. I started to put $5,000 in this ICO, $5,000 in that one, a few $1,000s, $10,000. In fact, some of them I even put $50,000 into some of these ICOs. And some of them worked. For example, like ShopX, which made over a 300x return. And that sparked something to me. It showed me a different style of investing. Now, in this video, I want to share with you how you can get into these ICOs for yourself. Also, a few of the risks associated with them, things like vesting periods, things like due diligence, and also like the strategy behind it, because you just can't buy one thing and expect to get rich. That's not how it works. You need to learn that. You can't just do this alone without a business and without cash flow. There's a method to this, but if you focus and if you concentrate, take notes, and also subscribe, you will know exactly how you can do this. So first things first, there's different websites which you can use, okay? The first website which I like to use is something called Paid Network Ignition. The reason for this is because you don't need any tokens in the project to get access to these investments. It's open to everybody. Historically, when I first started, it wasn't like this. You had to have thousands of dollars, and at one stage tens of thousands of dollars in the coin to get access to it. So that limited people who could get in. Now it's open. It's open to everybody. And unlike any other platforms like Ape Terminal, CDFi, even ChainGPT, great projects, and I'll share them with you later, you don't need the token. And also you can invest thousands of dollars into these ICOs. Unlike other ones where you only get $150, $200, minute allocation. If you want to make these 300x's, I'm sure you start thinking, okay, imagine if I had $5,000 or $10,000 in something in at 300x. That's the idea, okay? So all you have to do is head over to a website called paidnetwork.com, then check out Ignition, okay? Over on Ignition, if you scroll down and click go to launchpad, you will see this launchpad, right? And what a launchpad is it's a platform that launches new projects, similar to Kickstarter, right? If you've ever seen Dragon's Den, for example, you will see that sometimes these projects come in and they're like, right, we raised $1 million on Kickstarter. We raised $500,000 on Kickstarter. And when you launch on Kickstarter, usually in exchange for investing and supporting the project early and taking the risk of losing all of your money, you get their proprietary project. You get early access. But in crypto, you get tokens. Right? And with those tokens, you usually get vesting periods, you get a small amount at launch, and you can choose whether to buy more or whether to sell them, right? And historically, when you get these, they're at such a small price that when they launch, you reap the reward, or you get rooked, of course, right? That's the risk you take. Now, you can see here, Ignition has raised over 35 million. They've invested in over 90 projects. The average project at all-time high is over 1,800%, and the community members, they have over 1 million. They support community-led projects on Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, and BNB chain. And you can even launch your own project on there. In fact, if you checked out one of my last videos, I would have showed you how to actually start a business, right? Speaking about, instead of digging for gold, selling shovels and making cash flow. One of the best ways for that is actually to start your own project. Anybody can do it. And I believe we need more entrepreneurs in this space, more legit entrepreneurs in this space that understand it, because you can launch your own project on Ignition and just apply right here, okay? But if you want to invest and you scroll down, you can see they have up and coming projects. And every single week, you can go ahead and invest into any of these projects. In fact, you can see here, they have Commonwealth, Umoja, and Mystic Games. The most recent one, which is coming very, very soon, at the time of recording this video, by the time it's out, I think this project would already raised, okay, is Commonwealth, right? And these guys are raising over $9 million. That means anybody can invest a ton into these projects. It's an open raise, okay? And all you have to do is simply sign in, KYC on the platform, and when these tokens launch, you follow them on Twitter, you get involved where it says see details, for example, right? And you can just invest. It's very, very simple. It's not like complicated, okay? But there is some things that you need to know. One of the key things is vesting and token info. Okay, let's start off with vesting. With your vesting period, these are the amount of tokens that you get at launch. You see, even with my ShopX, for example, you heard, oh yeah, you made a 300x. That's great. But that wasn't 300x on my whole bag. That was like 10%. I put in $3,000. I got 10% of my tokens, and those 10% were up 300x, right? That's how it works. And then you have the rest of your tokens, which you can either buy more or you can sell. And as you can see here, the vesting period here is 10% at launch, and TGE means when a token is generated. It's IPO, ICO, when it launches, that's 10%. 1 month cliff, that means 1 month where you have to wait, you're not gonna get no tokens. And then 6 month vesting, okay? You can also see that the vesting frequency is every 30 days, which means every 30 days, you'll get the rest of your tokens, okay? And the number of releases is 6. So you can expect to do 90% of your tokens, divide that by 6, and every 30 days, that's what you're gonna get. Very, very simple. Now, with that, you can take your own due diligence, right? People say, do your own due diligence, but what is that? Now, I talk a lot about due diligence, how you can do your own. I even give a cheat sheet on what you can download in my free course. You can see that on my channel. Okay, if you go to Popular, it's like my second most viewed video. It's completely free, 5-hour free course. But I'll give you a brief overview of how you can do due diligence, okay? The first thing you can do is just literally head over to the description. And what you want to look at is the narratives, right? I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, technology and stuff like that. But there's a reason why Dogecoin is still in the first page, right? I think it's still in like the top 10, right? It's one of the highest market cap meme coins out there. It has no utility whatsoever. But it's top 10 meme coin or whatever, right? That's because of narratives. And the whole market is based on speculation, right? People just think, how big can this thing go? They just care about the chart. So it's important that you understand what narratives these projects are based on. As you can see here, it is DeFi, NFT, and the new narrative, which is open source investing. You see, what Commonwealth does is it allows anybody to get involved in VC funds. Because as I spoke about Ethereum, right? The funny thing is a normal person couldn't have invested in Ethereum at 31 cents. You had to be a accredited investor. So what you can do is you can get involved in these types of projects. Commonwealth is the only one of its time. Invest into its fund, and its fund will invest into these projects for you. Then you get a return on that. You see, it's a circular motion. And a lot of people do this. There are many people called liquidity providers which invest into investment funds. Those funds go and invest for them, and then they get a return on that investment. But in crypto, it's been very, very hard to do so. Commonwealth is the first of its time. So as you can see the features of Commonwealth, and it says Commonwealth is powered by wealth, which empowers holders to pay transaction fees, reduce investment carry fees, engage in governance, invest in projects, compensate contributors, earn rewards for participating, and generate passive income from the community fund. That's that fund I was talking about. And that's just one of the many projects which launches on paid network ignition. And like I said, guys, you don't need no tokens to invest. It's not complicated. You go to the website, you sign in, you follow them on Twitter. When new projects come out, you do your due diligence, you decide whether you want to invest. And that's what I did. Okay, for many years, especially in a bull market, I was literally making money from my business, piling it into private sales and reaping the reward. And over time, I learned that there's earlier rounds than, you know, even these rounds. You can get in at private, you can get in at seed, you can get in at angel. You can go down that rabbit hole, but you don't have to. You can literally just do this and still make millions, okay? The next thing is PokerStar. Now, PokerStar is very similar. The only difference between PokerStar and paid is that PokerStar is a raffle-based system and you have to do like social media tasks. For example, if you go to pokerstar.com, you go to upcoming sales, you look at this sale, for example, called Own, right? You can decide to invest into it, okay? All you have to do, put your email in, wait for them to send you an email, follow all the tasks they tell you to do, and you might get in, okay? It's similar to grinding out other types of projects and airdrops and stuff. And that's not the only launchpad. In fact, there's way more, right? You can go to a website called cryptorank.io, and I hope you guys are keeping up with me here. Comment down below if you appreciate the value, because this is literally the method. This is it. There's no secret method. You make money, you invest it. Make money, invest it, okay? Don't just start gambling, because it never lasts long, okay? We're definitely seeing that at the time we're recording this video. It's May 1st. Market's crashing. Everyone's like, oh my God. And I'm like, guys, would you following the channel? Would you starting businesses, okay? You can see it here. The best IDO platform so far is OXBull, Ape Terminal, ChainGPT, Bounce, Forge Foundry, CDFi, Engine Star. You can see the average return on OXBull. They've done 43 IDOs, and the average return is about 922%. Remember, there's variables in that. How much could I have invested at launch? What is my vesting period? Okay, same thing. Ape Terminal did 26 IDOs, and that was an average of 600% return. ChainGPT, average of 330% return, and that's in 20 days, and that's between 2009 and 2024. Obviously, not all of them have been around. That's current return, by the way. So that's like right now. All-time high return obviously gets ridiculous. OXBull 17,000, Solanium 3,000, Bounce 3,000, PokerStar 3,200, Chain Boost, Gamify the rest, right? So when, as you can see, these projects get to all-time high, it can get ridiculous. A 17,000% return. That's ridiculous, okay? But you have to get into these projects. You have to go and do the due diligence, right? You can't just sit and wait for me to drop a YouTube video every single week if you subscribe to this channel, right? You have to go and do these things. So I encourage you to go down this rabbit hole. There's so much more to learn, and I wish I could sit and talk about this all day. In fact, if you look at the next video on this channel, you'll see I've got a 5-hour course on there where you can go through everything step by step. You can learn all of the information. You can learn how to do due diligence. You can learn how to vet these projects, because you can't invest in all of them. And hopefully this has sparked that idea in your head. This has sparked you down the rabbit hole, and this has sparked you down the journey of being able to change your life and your family's life forever, because there's only 1 year left in this bull market, like 10 months, okay? And this is the most bullish period of the market. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Check out this next video if you want to see a free course. Links in the description to join all of my communities and contact me privately, do whatever you want to do. All of that is down there, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.